We've already learned that as retail food products move from receiving through storage, preparation, and display, it's important that food handlers follow certain basic safety measures to help prevent foodborne illnesses. One very critical step in this process is time and temperature control. Knowing what to do begins with an understanding of the temperature danger zone. The temperature danger zone is the range between 41 degrees and 135 degrees Fahrenheit, so called because this is the temperature range where harmful microorganisms multiply rapidly, increasing the risk of foodborne illness. We've been asked, but doesn't cooking food for long periods of time at a high enough temperature kill whatever harmful bacteria there is? The answer is yes and no. Most bacteria will be killed, but some types will even survive boiling water after being immersed for 45 minutes. Don't forget that foods that have been cooked safely can become recontaminated by unsafe handling practices. We suggest that you follow these 5 points for proper time and temperature control. Point number 1. Work in small batches. That is, work with only the amount of food you expect to prepare in 30 minutes or less. Small batches will also aid in the cooling process, which brings us to point number 2. Always cool and freeze foods quickly. This requires that food reach internal temperatures of 41 degrees Fahrenheit or below in 4 hours or less. Point 3. When thawing frozen food, either place it in a refrigerator or walk-in cooler. You may also place it under cold running water or begin cooking it immediately. Don't forget to keep batch size to a minimum. Remember, small batches freeze, cool, and thaw more rapidly. Regardless of batch size, never allow frozen foods to thaw at room temperature. This will result in the outside of the food warming to the danger zone well before the inside is completely thawed. Point 4. Cook foods to the required minimum internal temperature. When reheating foods, heat to an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit in order to kill organisms which could be in or on the food. Keep in mind, the safe temperature is the internal temperature of the product, not the cooking temperature of the oven. Use a properly calibrated probe thermometer to be certain that the thickest part of the food reaches its required minimum internal temperature. Your supervisor will train you in this procedure. Finally, point 5. Remember to hold food at the proper temperature while it's on display. Initially preparing food at the proper temperature will be of little benefit if you neglect to follow safe temperature guidelines when placing it in the display or service case. Hot food should be maintained at 135 degrees Fahrenheit or above, and cold foods at 41 degrees Fahrenheit or below. It's important that you regularly monitor these temperatures at least every 2 hours. So now you have the basics. Remember, proper use of time and temperature can be a barrier to foodborne illnesses. Please complete the brief quiz provided with Step 5.